18-year-old Brad Pitt's daughter has broken her silence, and what she shared has people talking. For years, there have been rumors and gossip about her childhood, her family, and the pressure of growing up in the spotlight. Now, she's finally opening up and confirming what many suspected. But it's not just about her father. So what did she reveal? And why is everyone paying attention now? Join us as we look closer at the moment turning heads across Hollywood. The name drop. Shiloh Jolie, the daughter of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, just turned 18 and wasted no time making a bold move that has stunned both fans and Hollywood insiders. Instead of staying quiet like she has for years, she's finally taking control of her story by addressing the long-rumored 2016 plane incident that drove a wedge through her family. For the first time, she is no longer silent, and her decision to speak out seems to cast a harsh light directly on her father, Brad Pitt. Then Shiloh did something that truly turned heads. She dropped the word Pitt from her name. The tension between Brad and Angelina has played out for nearly 10 years in public, but this moment wasn't about them. It was about her. This wasn't part of their ongoing feud, but a personal decision. By choosing to go by Shiloh Jolie, she shows that she wants to step away from the chaos and stand alone. Unlike what people expected, she didn't give an interview or issue a statement, but her actions spoke volumes. On her 18th birthday, while most of her peers would celebrate with cake and friends, she filed legal papers to change her name. She didn't want to be Shiloh Jolie Pitt anymore, just Shiloh Jolie. The move wasn't done for attention. It was done to send a message louder than words, and people got the message and saw it as a sign that the young woman was stepping out of her father's shadow and declaring her truth, no matter how painful it may be. Just as one would expect, Brad was heartbroken by this. Someone close to the family said he was devastated, especially remembering how he once called the day Shiloh was born the happiest of his life. People who know the situation well were particularly shocked because Shiloh is very important to him. She's his first biological daughter, someone he saw as a fresh start. For him, changing her name wasn't just a legal thing. It was a painful sign that the close connection they once had might be gone forever. And as his family's problems become more public, one thing is clear. Shiloh's choice has completely changed the story. Shiloh wasn't the first of her siblings to distance herself from Brad. Others might follow quietly. This slow separation didn't happen suddenly. It all started with a huge fight that profoundly affected the family. The argument on a private plane was more than just yelling. It caused emotional wounds that still haven't healed. Could that moment be the reason everything started falling apart? Father's Day fallout. While Brad Pitt's relationship with Inez de Ramon appears to be going well, his personal life remains complicated. In 2020, a different storm brewed behind closed doors as the world locked down during the pandemic. Brad won an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that year. However, he also faced a shocking blow from his eldest son. On Father's Day, Maddox Jolie sent shockwaves through the internet with a message. He posted a photo of his adopted father holding the golden statue. But the caption read more like a scathing letter than a celebration. It called Brad unforgiving, cruel, and accused him of terrifying his younger children. The problems in Brad Pitt's relationship with his children started with a particular event in 2016 on a private plane. During that flight, Brad and his son Maddox had a powerful argument. This fight changed things a lot between them. The plane even had to land unexpectedly at an airport in Minnesota because of the intense argument. Even though reports never said they physically fought, the shouting match itself seemed to cause emotional harm. After this argument, Maddox began to pull away from his father. This has caused their relationship to get worse gradually over the years, and it's still a problem. After the plane incident, Brad and his children grew even further apart emotionally. People close to Maddox said he stopped seeing himself as Brad's son, even though Angelina Jolie reportedly tried to help fix things in 2019 by encouraging Maddox to contact his father. It didn't work. Maddox stuck to his decision to keep his distance from Brad. Now, with Shiloh also showing she wants space by legally removing his name from hers, the family's problems aren't getting better as time passes. Instead, they seem to be getting worse. One by one, his kids have made quiet but powerful choices, dropping his last name, avoiding the spotlight with him, and standing firmly beside their mother. These are not just small gestures, they carry meaning. With each action, are his children sending a message he's still not ready to confront? Or is he holding on to a version of fatherhood that no longer matches their reality? Silence sends the message. People close to Brad Pitt say that losing his connection with Maddox has been very painful for him as the family split apart. However, things worsened in 2021 during the court fight over the children. Maddox, who was old enough to make his own choices by then, reportedly spoke in court. Sources say what he said was not in favor of his father. Even though Maddox had already stopped using the Pitt last name alone, he wished to make that change official by law. It's interesting that even though Angelina is said to be close to Maddox, she reportedly didn't support his wish to take away the Pitt name legally. In 2022, Brad made one final effort to reach out to Maddox. He sent a simple gift and a handwritten note for his son's 21st birthday. But Maddox never responded, and that silence hit Brad hard. People who knew them back then say their bond went beyond just father and son. They shared a true friendship. Since the plane incident, everything has changed, and many believe things may never go back to how they once were. Sadly for Brad, Maddox was not the only child who had issues with him. His daughters began acting more independently as time passed, slowly creating distance from their father. In 2023, Zahara did something remarkable that did not go unnoticed. When she joined her sorority at Spelman College, she confidently said her name was just Zahara Marley Jolie, purposely not including Pitt. The way she said it was confident, and it seemed clear she was choosing to use only her mother's last name. When the video of Zahara introducing herself spread online, it became clear that she chose her mother and did not forget to use her father's name. It was deliberate. Like Maddox and now Shiloh, Zahara seemed to be setting her boundaries with her father. The children who used to be seen with Brad at significant events are now clearly moving away from him. These subtle but essential choices, like not using his last name or not replying to him, show a pattern. It suggests that the saddest loss for Brad Pitt is not about his job or how people see him, but about his relationship with his children. Over the years, the children's consistent decisions suggest they are intentionally creating distance from their father. Could someone influence this growing family separation in ways that are not publicly known? Or is this simply the result of each child making up their mind as they grow older? Behind the Jolie curtain, this ongoing situation suggests bigger reasons the children want to keep their distance from him. It makes people wonder why 4 of the 6 Jolie Pitt children might have pulled away from their father. Some ideas are being discussed, but one claim is particularly worrying. There were shocking reports that Angelina Jolie herself might have deliberately worked to turn their children against Brad. This surprising information didn't come from gossip magazines or unknown sources, which makes these upsetting claims seem more believable. Brad is now breaking his silence and presenting his side of the story, which raises questions. Was Angelina genuinely protecting their children, or has she been manipulating the narrative from the beginning? The dispute within the Jolie Pitt family has intensified significantly. Adding to this complicated situation, Tony Webb, a former security professional, has disclosed that after Brad and Angelina's 2016 separation, his company, SRS Global, continued to provide personal security services for Angelina and the children. Tony Webb, a well-respected former British soldier now working in private security, shared these worrying claims in a detailed official statement. Webb clearly stated that Angelina directly told her children not to spend time with their father when they were supposed to have visits. He said this was done intentionally to hurt Brad's relationship with his kids. Webb's statement added a new level to their brutal court battle over the children, making the family's private troubles even more worrisome. Webb is not an average whistleblower. He is a highly decorated veteran with a solid record of trust, having served in elite units like the British Royal Marines and the Special Air Service. His 2-decade role guarding the Jolie Pitt family included securing their private moments, international travels, and discreetly handling confidential matters. His eyewitness account does not just alter perceptions of a Hollywood custody battle. Still, it could reshape public opinion about Angelina Jolie, challenging her image and influencing future court rulings. Because Webb had known the family for a long time, what he said was seen as very important. If Angelina Jolie did try to stop witnesses from speaking, people have to wonder why. Was she just trying to keep her family's private life secret? Or was she worried that what they would share about the family issues would show uncomfortable truths about what happened? Shocking secrets surface fast? Even worse, Jolie's assistant, Michael Vieira, supposedly approached Webb and asked him to stop his 2 contractors from testifying in court. According to reports, Vieira said these contractors signed non-disclosure agreements so they could get sued if they said anything. Despite this, Webb resisted the intimidation, explaining clearly that the contractors were not direct employees and were free to testify if subpoenaed. Vieira responded by intensifying the threat, emphasizing the serious legal consequences that awaited anyone who spoke openly in court. The fact that Foster was willing to talk openly was a big deal. It suggested his story would be a serious charge against Jolie, not just gossip. If these claims of her trying to turn the kids against their father are true, they could change who the children live with. This is because courts usually don't like it when one parent tries to make children dislike the other parent. These kinds of claims would not just harm how people see Jolie, but could also change the public's view of the situation, making the already hard legal fight even more complex. However, the children pulling away from Brad might not just be because Angelina possibly influenced them. A very upsetting event happened some years back. Reports say Brad Pitt was very drunk and aggressive. Angelina Jolie claimed that Brad physically overpowered her in a small bathroom on the plane. Their children were reportedly scared and may have seen or heard this attack. The situation worsened, with reports of physical fights between Brad and one of the children. This led to serious investigations by the FBI and groups that protect children. But in the end, no one was charged with a crime. This left complicated feelings and problems that haven't been fixed in the family's troubled relationships. The police and child protective services looked into what happened in 2016, but they decided not to file any charges and didn't clearly say why. Brad and Angelina seemed like the perfect famous couple to the outside world. But inside their home, the family was quickly falling apart. What looked perfect wasn't. Some observers believe the children now understand more than they did back then. Even if they were not fully aware then, they are old enough to take a stand now, quietly, through their actions. Their decisions speak volumes, even without words, while the media continues to track every move they make. As the children distance themselves and observers piece together the signs, attention again turns to Brad's past. Could the personal struggles people now see be linked to the long and complicated history of romance and heartbreak that followed him through the decades, fame and heartache? From the late 1980s, Brad Pitt became famous in Hollywood. People knew him for his growing acting career and for dating other famous actors he worked with. He got even more attention when he started dating Gwyneth Paltrow, his co-star in the movie Seven. They were together from 1994 until they broke up in 1997. This relationship put Brad Pitt in the middle of Hollywood news, with fans and reporters watching everything they did for 3 years. In 1998, Brad Pitt's love life changed again when he met actress Jennifer Aniston. Their relationship grew quickly, and they had a private, romantic wedding in Malibu on July 29, 2000. They became one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, appearing frequently on magazine covers and at high-profile events. However, in January 2005, the couple shocked fans by announcing their separation, with Aniston filing for divorce shortly after, citing irreconcilable differences. Despite widespread reports of bitterness following their divorce, finalized in October 2005, Pitt spoke positively about his ongoing friendship with Aniston in a February 2009 interview. He emphasized that despite the end of their marriage, they continued to support each other and remained significant parts of each other's lives. While he was going through his divorce from Aniston, his relationship with Angelina Jolie became a big deal in the news. They were working together on the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Even though they both said they were not together, pictures of Brad, Angelina, and her son Maddox on a beach in Kenya came out in April 2005. These photos caused a lot of people to wonder if they were together. The couple, who became famous as Brangelina, became more open about their relationship. Angelina confirmed they were a couple in January 2006 when she announced she was pregnant with Brad's baby. They became engaged in April 2012 after 7 years together, eventually marrying privately at Chateau Miraval in France in August 2014. However, Jolie filed for divorce in September 2016, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce was finalized in April 2019, though legal battles continued. In a subsequent dispute, Jolie alleged Pitt physically overpowered her and verbally insulted her when they were airborne, deepening the public drama surrounding their separation. In 2022, Pitt began a new chapter by dating jewelry designer Inés de Ramón, signaling a move forward from his complicated past. While Brad was stepping away from the wreckage of their marriage, Angelina's story was already deeply rooted in a different kind of love, the one she built through adoption and motherhood. Could the difference between their emotional paths help explain their war? Journeys of Jolie's Heart. On March 10, 2002, Angelina Jolie had her first child. She adopted a 7-month-old baby boy named Maddox Chivan from a place for children in Cambodia. Maddox was born on August 5, 2001, in a village there. Angelina first felt a special connection to him when she visited Cambodia for movies and to help people. In November 2001, Angelina and her husband, Billy Bob Thornton, started the process of adopting him. But it became hard because the United States government stopped adoptions from Cambodia. This was because they were worried about children being illegally moved or sold. However, the officials decided that her adoption of Maddox was done legally. After overcoming the legal problems, Angelina was able to bring Maddox home. She took care of him in Namibia while she was making a movie called Beyond Borders. At first, she said she was adopting Maddox with her husband, Billy Bob Thornton, but they separated 3 months later, and Angelina finished the adoption by herself. She became the only parent taking care of Maddox. Angelina's family grew bigger on July 6, 2005, when she adopted another baby, 6-month-old Zahara Marley. Zahara was from a children's home in Ethiopia. Brad Pitt, who was Angelina Jolie's partner then, went with her to Ethiopia. This showed they were making choices about adding to their family together. Their bond became even stronger when Brad decided he wanted to adopt Maddox and Zahara legally. Angelina then asked for the children's last name to be officially changed to Jolie Pitt, which was approved. This made their blended family official by law and showed they were a unit. Brad officially adopted both children a short time later. This was a new beginning for them as parents together. The Jolie Pitt family had a lot of love and big dreams, but they also faced intense public attention and personal problems. Even after Jolie and Pitt's relationship ended, they remained dedicated to ensuring their children were okay. This was handled through complicated plans for who the children would live with and ongoing court arguments. Each parent tried in their own way to make sure their children grew up in a caring home, away from the bright lights of Hollywood. In the end, the story of Jolie and Pitt is very complex and shows how strong they were. It highlights the good and hard things about raising a family when people are famous. Do you think Shiloh dropping her father's last name is just part of growing up? Or is it a bold statement against Brad Pitt? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen.